another story in wrestling, and I think this will be our last subject of the
Yeah.
night. We're kind of running long. I was going to talk about, Andreas Hale with ESPN and his review that sent the Fed merchants into hysterics, but we're going to kick that to the side. But Jasmyn Nix, a woman that I have never seen wrestle. James, how about you?
Same. I didn't even know what she looked like until like this week.
Yeah, yeah. So she is a wrestler or was a wrestler in NXT for the last 3 years. She came from the pro soccer world, I believe. Already an athlete, kind of came through that, whole rebranding of NXT, obviously, with the NIL athletes and different stuff like that. And her deal was coming up, and they wrote her off TV this week, and essentially killed her. They heard like a loud bang, and like I don't know, they were like, "We don't need her anymore," or something like that. So she sits down in her car and basically is like, "Yeah, they offered me a contract. The pay was not up to par, and I'm not accepting this. So holla." And brother, this woman sent these people into just they couldn't believe it, James. They couldn't believe it that the Fed was being cheap out here. Like the thing with the money in NXT, I think, is one of the more under discussed things in wrestling because there's so few details on it. There's so few kind of people that are willing to kind of talk about that. It's such a precautious time in their careers, right? Like we have like been led to believe that people like Ricky Starks and Mariah May have taken massive pay cuts by going to work in NXT. Jordan Grace,
Mm-hmm.
same deal. I was just, informed of like what the NXT going rates were for indie wrestlers that had a name, going into WWE at the end of last decade, what it looked like. And
Mm-hmm.
the number that's out there for Jasmyn Nix looks marginally above that, maybe.
That's nice.
But that's like probably inflation and then the woman bump for the upkeep. Like basically, like she gotta basically
Mm-hmm.
have the look they want
It takes more.
essentially.
It takes more.
Yeah,
It takes more.
Julia definitely had to take a pay cut. Um,
Oh yeah, she definitely took a pay cut. Hey. Look at me. Look at me. Right here. Right here. Every major Joshi that came out of Stardom was making way more. All of them. Kyrie, Io, all took pay cuts to go to NXT. What they're making now, I don't know. But when they were in NXT, massive pay cuts. I remember, Mayu was out here at one point making like $20,000 in a month
yeah,
off of merch. And she was the third out of them three as far as star power in merch sales at that time.
this is why it upset people so much that this woman basically would not accept the scraps or whatever because she told them what her value was. And anytime somebody starts talking about value in pro wrestling, the Fed and by proxy the Fed army, their bots and their army here loses their fucking mind. We saw it with Swerve and Daniel Garcia. James, there are all-time legends in WWE right now that are making the same number as Daniel Garcia.
Yeah.
And when I say all-time legends, I mean legends of WWE that have been around for 25 years. So, when we talk about NXT, be like, why do we care? It's a wrestler in NXT, whatever. This is the earliest thing we can look at in the landscape of someone being like at the bottom rung, be like, this is bullshit. Essentially, and she's like, I'll go do something else or whatever. I don't have to have pro wrestling or whatever. Or she might want to wrestle somewhere else or whatever. Now,
There's also the Mandy Rose situation where like they stand to make more money being on NXT or WWE for a certain amount of time and then sell their content of whatever to whoever on their own time and don't have to throw their head at the floor.
She has announced she's not going that direction, but yes, point still stands.
I know. I'm just saying,
point
like,
still
I'm
stands.
saying that's also a reality for the women in or I mean, hell, for the dudes, is, these are people, both men and women that are on the show. They're walking around half naked.
Stephanie Vicker.
They're gonna attract people regardless of whoever they are.
Stephanie Vicker definitely took less to go to WWE and cried about it, like how much she wanted to be there. We remember that story. So like her, I sent a tweet about this. I was like, record profits, huh? And man, they shit themselves. They shit themselves, bro. Like they're just like, they just start calling this, they just calling this woman all kinds of names and everything like that. Calling me names. I'm just like, what does that have to do with her not wanting them? They tried to re-sign her. Like and the whole thing is like they didn't want her. That I'm like, again, brother.
Why they offer her then?
Again, brother. Like, who are you trying to fool here? Like
another part of it is like,
TKO.
And it's another part of how we watch sports, and it's like when it comes to these labor disputes between the unions. And it's always the talent. The talent are just people are just so jealous of talent. Like, you can tell them what the splits are for the revenue, and it's still just like, nah. We need to get rid of unions. We need to get rid of all this stuff because these people that get to do these cool things that people actually pay to see are not deserving because I'm not one of them. I'm not special. It's all jealousy, and it's all just dumbassery.
And think about this, James, with the rise in profile with WWE, with ESPN, and they've got legit reporters lurking around there, right? All this money that's out there right now.
Never gonna happen, Rich. It's a conflict of interest.
I'm gonna say
it's the same reason why they ain't. It's the same reason why they're not talking about the Pablo Torre shit with Kawhi and the Clippers every single day right now, as opposed to like they talk about it maybe once or once every other day when he drops something new. By the way, Pablo was actually co-hosting PTI last week with Kornheiser.
There is a story hiding in plain sight about all this money they're making in Saudi Arabia, all this stuff with TKO. All the fucking the $1 billion partnerships with Netflix and all this stuff. But you have people like Thea Hale going online on Twitter and saying she cannot afford to build a $1,000 gaming PC. She's saying this. You have Jasmyn Nix here. God bless her. Never seen her work. Don't know whatever she... It's bigger than Jasmyn Nix is what I'm saying.
Rich.
Someone can crack this entire shit open with just a little bit of digging.
So, Rich, you are a man of the people. You are a common man. I would not say you are. I would not say that you are someone that is living the highest of life, right? I'm not saying you live in the lowest life either. I'm saying you're someone that lives...
No, kind of.
All right, nigga. Like, my bad. It's my bad. I'm saying you live a normal life.
You know what? I had a moment with Catherine yesterday. She had the YouTube shorts hooked up to the TV and was watching YouTube shorts on the TV. I was like, YouTube shorts on the TV, huh? I was like, we're doing all right. Like that's just what I left it at that and walked out.
Okay. I'm not trying to go too deep. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to give a broad definition of where you are in life. As far as saying, I'm not saying like, yeah, y'all need when y'all see you see this nigga Rich in the streets, y'all might need to rob him.
No, I'm not going on the Black Girl Wrestling rob list.
He got gold. The blues come out the pockets. I'm not trying to say that. All right.
Yeah.
But when you got the rig from with my brother, right?
Yeah.
The CPU. That don't seem that $1,000 don't seem like people spend $5,000 on PCs, on custom PCs.
Yeah, I spent like
it's on 1,000.
I spent like I don't know, like maybe 2,500 on mine, something like that.
I didn't want to get into that. See,
yeah,
that's my point. You are living better than a WWE superstar.
Amazing. So like. The thing is, like, and I don't say that to admonish the wrestlers or anything, right, at all, because, like, it's it's
It's
clearly a
embarrassing.
directive for
WWE's part.
WWE is being cheap with their labor force, and cheap is an understatement. Cheap as hell is more accurate, actually. And
Yeah.
then like you think about like how the Performance Center has always been this money pit, because obviously like the wrestlers, like like they do
It's a
have a
loss
TV,
leader.
they do have a TV deal, and it's supposed to be. It is an investment.
Mhm.
Everybody's telling me to look at the Discord. What channel? Um, I just see it, and it just feels like it's such an archaic old system, and I think everyone would benefit for people talking more about this, us learning more about this. And let me pull up this Discord channel. I don't quite know what's going on here. So, oh my god.
Oh my.
Oh my god,
shit.
Gail Kim talking.
It's about Gail Kim.
Yeah. Move that on. But yeah, there's just a lot of stuff with the money that's going on, and I don't think people ever link these two things together and be like, this don't make sense, so I'll do it for them. Like with all these record profits and everything, it's the same reason why they never really ever had to fire anybody. It's just another twist of the Rubik's Cube here with this stuff. And people just fucking just on their knees, just sucking the WWE cock, just no hands. It's just there's no other way to describe this. Like, it's just so bad. Like, give it up, bro. This is why they don't want AEW to exist. Also, like, loop that in.
Yep.
Like, so.
Yep.
It's just like, brother, like, just bouncing on it for him. Just like, damn, make them work for it a little bit. Damn, just good Lord. And, people were so mad at this girl. They were so mad at her. And I'm just like, there's no fucking way. She was the third member of, like, the 3-woman group she was in, apparently. And it's like, yes, King of the North, they're throwing their bodies in the in the traffic to protect, the big TKO train from taking any damage. It's just fucking stupid. Like, at the end of the day,
Weird, man. It's weird behavior. Like, they care more about a company than people. And like, I get it. Like, this company is giving you memories, but it's like it's. So when people talk in church, they say that a church is just a building. The community, the people are the church, right?
Yeah.
Like, at what point do you look around and say, the people as they change and move and cycle in and out or whatever else, like, where's the appreciation for the people and for their dedication and their hard work of them throwing their heads at the floor for your entertainment? Like, and she said it wasn't enough because Rich has told me the number or the idea of the number, and like, it ain't really enough. And so I don't know if the number ever got out. Well, people would maybe that
there's reporting on it now.
But well, either way, like, even if it was out, like, it probably wouldn't, because people just think these. I would do it for free. No, the fuck you wouldn't. Like, do you do your job for free? No, you don't. Shut the fuck up then.
Right, and think about it. She's been there for 3 years, right? So, like, what if she like plan to like elevate her life at all? Like,
Right.
like, yo,
Right.
I'm trying to be here, and then you didn't give her no type of raise or anything. Oh, get the fuck out of here! This is just TKO bullshit. The UFC already wrote the fucking playbook. Like, they already what they did to all those fighters, and what they're continuing to do with those fighters. They want this to be what pro wrestling is, and then they want to ultimately give you less as a fan. You're next, like Goldberg. You're next, and currently.
I mean, look
at the pay-per-views.
No. Fans aren't even exactly. Let's get to that. We're not even next. It's already happened to us. We only get 5 pay-per-views on shows.
And,
it's like 5 matches on
and
pay-per-views.
people have laid down and accepted this because they're fucking sheep that have no idea what is happening and can't see the world moving around them. And like, there's nothing in place to stop them except a fucking billionaire who happens to love pro wrestling.
They see them. They see themselves so much in the company. They don't realize that if they stop for a second, looked outside, they wouldn't realize they're getting scammed.
Look, they're not on.
That's one of my biggest things when I talk about like the history of American pro wrestling is like a lot of the stuff. If you grew up watching American Pro Wrestling, you don't know any better because you just think this is what pro wrestling is. And you watch something else, you realize like, yo, a lot of stuff that I still enjoy, whatever, have fond memories of. Like I was getting scammed.
And
I was
look,
getting scammed.
if it's anything we're ever going to be on this show, like when we were talking about all the stuff with the Hurt Syndicate a couple weeks ago, like we were going to be pro fan and then also pro wrestler. Like in a
Yep.
situation like there's no reason to like unless the wrestler really fucks up, right? Where it's like it's indefensible, right?
Mm-hmm.
But asking for more money is not a fuck up. Like no matter how you look at it.
Right, especially when we all generally consider them underpaid, especially when there's another alternative that's supposed to like kind of change how you do business. And they're like, nah. In fact, we just gonna make it even worse. And it's like, all right, at what point do people at what point do people like treat this like the music game where it's like, all right, you get your first deal, your first couple deals, and like you get the notoriety of being somewhere, being on a major, and then eventually you say, you know what, I don't feel like doing this no more. I'm gonna go independent and get as much money. You might get less notoriety, you may get less songs on the radio, but you making more money for your work. You
Yeah.
can set your own hours. You ain't on a 360 slave deal. And I just like at some point, when does this change? Like literally, we made the joke like WWE, these niggas signed the 360s. And
Look,
it's
and
like,
she can't. That was a big.
is it,
that was a
is
big
these
thing.
people
Her.
have no hustle to them? And if you don't,
She can't
that's
make no
fine.
money outside of it. And she has opportunities
Exactly.
because like apparently she like does social media and shit and her boyfriend is like a YouTuber and stuff like that. So like she can get something shaken if you guys have
Right.
seen like, what she looks like. She's like obviously gonna put that to use. Like and you take that for however you want it. Look, it ain't gonna be an issue for her to get people to look at her. Let's say that. But
Okay.
it's like, I not everybody wants a WrestleMania moment. They don't want the plaque like Joe Hendry got.
Got a plaque? I didn't know that.
Special
Damn.
WrestleMania moment. I'm gonna look that up and find it. But I thought it was important to talk about this because the Jasmyn Nix thing. If there are wrestlers you love in WWE, this is not gonna be like it doesn't stop with the wrestlers you don't care about. Like
Right.
it spreads like a sickness.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I think that's a great place to leave it.